What's up, everybody? It's Legal Tender. Welcome to the channel. I'd like to thank all the subscribers and all the supporters. Thank you for following me. And let's stay supporting Newsmatics. All right, this episode I'll be covering Uncut Sheets. All right, let's get into it. All right, so the Bureau of Printing and Engraving oversees printing and engraving of all Federal Reserve notes, as well as the distribution of said notes. The BEP also manages the distribution of all uncut sheets. Uncut sheets can be bought in quantity of 32, 16, 8, 4, or as small as 2 uncut bills. And as of February 2014, a 50 note sheet can be purchased as well. Most of the uncut bills are Federal Reserve issue. Each of the 12 Federal Reserve districts is identified by its own letter and number, A through L, and numbers 1 through 12. An example of that being, all right, so Boston. Boston is the first Federal Reserve Bank. So with Boston being the first Federal Reserve Bank, the number would be 1 and the letter would be A, with A being the first letter of the alphabet and Boston being the first Federal Reserve Bank. So Boston Federal Reserve Bank will have the alphanumeric code designator as Alpha 1. Atlanta would be F6, with F being the sixth letter in the alphabet and Atlanta being the sixth Federal Reserve Bank. San Francisco will be identified with L12, with L being the 12th alphabet and San Francisco being the 12th, the last of all Federal Reserve banks. It'll be another episode that speak about Federal Reserve banks in the future. So the alphabet designator can be found encircled and emboldened on the left side of the portrait. So right here we got ELF, so that already identifies us from Atlanta, and ELF is the sixth alphabet, so F6. The numeric designator can be found 4 times on the sheet, 4 times right here. So that is, it'll be just left of the Federal Reserve identifier. It'll be to the left of the Treasury of the United States, right here. It'll be to the right of the Secretary of Treasury, right here. And one more time, it'll be to the right of the Great Seal for 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Purchase of any number of uncut sheets will cost more than face value. So an uncut sheet of 32 notes will cost more than $32. The additional markup helps cover the Bureau of Engraving and Printing's overhead and production costs. Uncut sheets are available in all 7 denominal notes: the $1 bill, $2, $5, $10, $20, $50 bill, and $100 bill, and can be purchased from the Bureau of Engraving and Printing as well as other vendors. So uncut sheet of $1 bills. We have the $2 bills. $5 note, uncut sheet. I like getting sheets of 4. It's not too much, but it's just enough. And we have the redesign of the day's modernized note, $5 bill. And I'll touch a little bit later the difference with the alphanumeric designator. You don't see it 4 times on this new note. More to follow on that part though. Okay, so where are we? So during the printing stage, the bills are printed on large sheets which are cut into individual notes. The U.S. Treasury designed and uses special ink to print United States paper money. The back of each bill is printed with green ink. A 32 note sheet is broken down into 4 groups. Now let's get right here to this little visual aid. Okay, a 32 note sheet is broken down into 4 groups of 8. Each quadrant is identified with the number 1 through 4 representing the quadrant. And an alphabet A through H representing each individual bill. A through D would be on the left side of the block. And E through H would be on the right side of one quadrant. Meaning 4 down, 2 across, making 8 notes per quadrant. The representation of the bill on the sheet can be identified with the alphanumeric designator on the left corner of the note. All right, so I'm trying to find B2 in this sheet of 32. All right, so on your note to the left of the Federal Reserve District and the alphanumeric to the left of that would be the placement of that individual bill on that sheet of 32 or 50. And that is on the upper left corner side of the note on the obverse side. Now with a sheet of 50, it's a little bit different, but not so much. The only difference is it is broken down in 10 columns going down and 5 rows going across. And the same thing applies. The placement of the note will be in the upper left-hand corner of that bill. So again, it'll be looking for B2, and it'll be up in the top left-hand corner of that bill. That's what a sheet of 32 notes look like. And we got a sheet of 50. So the purpose of having a placement of the bill on that individual sheet of 50 or 32, this method is used for quality assurance and quality checks. It's a quick way to pinpoint any errors on a note during the printing process. Errors that might have come from over inking, gutter folds, which is the paper being folded during the printing process, plate misalignment, and any other possible errors that can happen. The Bureau of Engraving and Printing will be able to quickly find any faults and resolve them, removing and destroying the damaged notes and replacing those notes with star notes. So, how can you identify if your note came from a sheet of 32 or a sheet of 50? Okay, see right here with the bill placement identifier, on the sheet of 32, the A, the letter, would be larger than the number. But on a sheet of 50, the alphabet, the letter and the number, they'll both be the same size. So it's not saying one bill is more valuable than the other, but that's just a way to identify if your bills came from a sheet of 32 or a sheet of 50. Let me go right here. So a sheet of 50, they both the same size. And right here, a sheet of 32 with the letter being slightly larger than the number. Okay, so these are, like I said earlier, I'm aiming at having all 7 denominal sheets, all denominal notes. So I'm a big fan of the small face notes. It's really hard to find those these days, so I think I'm gonna just have to go with the modern day size notes. So what I was talking about earlier with the, so take right here. All right, so like I said, this is the alphanumeric identifier. You got F6, 1, 2, 3, 4. But on the day's modern size note, you only have it once. That is G7. Again, so with G being the 7th letter in the alphabet, and that Federal Reserve Bank is Chicago. So you only see it one time. Not right there. That signature is still in the same location. The treasurer, the secretary, as our treasurer of the United States. And you have right here the Secretary of Treasury. The Great Seal still in the same place, but you lose that alphanumeric designator 3 times. It's only right there. The sheet identifier, the bill is still in the top left side, but a little bit more to the right. So as you can see, it's right there. L3. The letter is larger, so this was cut from a sheet of 32. Like I say, man, currency numismatics is a very intriguing thing, very interesting. I just love the artwork. I love the artwork of it as well. So that's all we got for this episode. All right, like, comment, subscribe. Until next time, keep it legal, keep it tender. Talk to you soon.